Hello class, this is Mr. Brodish. In this lesson, you are going to learn about stress, what causes it, how it affects your body, and different ways to manage or cope with stress. By understanding what is happening during stressful situations, you may be able to implement strategies and better deal with stress in your everyday life. Let's take a deeper look into stress. First, let's define it. One source tells us that stress is a state of mental tension and worry caused by problems in your life, work, etc. Something that causes strange feelings of worry or anxiety. Another source tells us that it's a state of mental tension or emotional strain or tension resulting from adverse or very demanding circumstances. So as you can see, it's obviously a state of mental tension that's caused by outside forces in our life. How does my body react to stress? As we are all aware, we have 5 senses that send signals to our brain and get processed in a little part of our brain called our amygdala. This part also contributes to emotional processing. When the amygdala perceives danger, it immediately sends a signals to the hypothalamus pituitary adrenal axis, or the HPA axis. This process is called the fight or flight response. So what happens when we are stressed? The HPA axis becomes active and releases hormones called adrenaline, norepinephrine, and cortisol. These begin to control our body's reaction to stress. Adrenaline is immediate, it causes sweating, it tenses your muscles, and it increases your heart rate. It gives you a sudden burst of energy. Norepinephrine makes you more aware, more focused, and more responsive to your surroundings. Cortisol is the fluid that helps balance fluids within your body and maintain your blood pressure. It regulates other bodily functions that aren't crucial in the moment, like growth, digestion, immune system, or your reproductive system. This is sometimes why you may see someone who is scared maybe wet themselves if they are scared enough. The fight or flight response. Your brain perceives danger. It sends signals through the HPA axis, creating hormones. These hormones increase your heart rate, relax your bladder, give you tunnel vision, among other. There are different types of stress that we encounter in our lives. We have 3 different levels. We have acute stress, which is the most common type of stress in your body's immediate reaction to a new challenge, event, or demand, and it triggers your fight or flight response. There's episodic acute stress, is when acute stress happens frequently, or this is someone who always seems like they're on edge, or someone you may call a worrywart. Then there's chronic stress. This occurs if an acute stress isn't resolved and stress begins to increase or last for long periods of time. This is constant and does not go away. So what causes stress, you may ask? Time or lack thereof? Anticipatory stress. This is stress that's experienced concerning the future, a specific event, or an overall feeling that something will go wrong. Situational stress. This is stress that occurs when you are in a scary situation that you can't control, an emergency or an unexpected conflict with others. And lastly, we have an encounter stress. Stress that occurs when you're around people, sometimes a specific person, sometimes just a group of people. It also can occur when there are unpredictable people around you that you know that something will happen. What happens if you have too much stress? Your cortisol levels rise, signals in your hippocampus, another part of your brain, decline. This part of your brain just so happens to be responsible for memory, learning, your HPA axis activity, and stress control. So what happens as a result of your hippocampus declining? It inhibits your memory process. You begin to lose your ability to learn and control stress. So now that we know what causes stress, let's watch this brief video to determine ways that we can effectively reduce stress. Now that you know the impact that stress has on your body and you can better identify situations that cause stress, you may be able to implement preparation strategies to prevent or coping strategies like breathing or exercising to deal with stress efficiently.